It's time for the EPAWA Daily Forecast video, a comprehensive look at what to expect in the days ahead. Here is meteorologist Bobby Martrich with your latest outlook.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 11th, 2021. We have a cold day on tap today across the region. Very cold, in fact, with highs in the teens for most of you. And you'll have a few areas that will get into the lower 20s farther south and east. But a mostly sunny day. Maybe a little bit of breeze very early in the morning, but that's going to be diminishing. So at least that part of it won't be so bad. You won't be dealing with the wind chills as much today. So that's a good thing. Tomorrow is a partly to mostly sunny day, but we're going to see a considerable increase in temperatures by some 18 to 20 degrees from the previous day. So it's going to be a noticeable change, but you're not going to be warm by any means. This is kind of near to slightly below average for this time of year in the 34 to 40 degree range here on Wednesday. Okay, so that trough is really digging in today, and we will have those hot, cold temperatures with high pressure sitting right over top of the region, giving us mostly sunny skies. Now, take us forward from this point, and again, we're going to have a little bit of a milder day on Wednesday, but still cold, but not as cold as today. And then once we get to Thursday, we're going to have a reinforcing cold front moving through overnight. It's not going to have very much, if any, precipitation with it. So we're just looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies here on Thursday. Temperatures are going to get up into the lower 40s for highs, so that's going to be your peak heating day this week, if you want to call it that. And then we take a dive here again once we get to Friday. There's an offshore low that is going to remain there, all well offshore, well to our south and east. And then after that point, Friday, we are mostly sunny again, and temperatures that'll be back in the 30 to 35 degree range across the region. Now the weekend. We've been talking about this for the last couple of days here, just trying to give you an idea of what may happen. We've very low confidence in this forecast because there's a lot of bouncing around here where the models can't figure out what exactly was going to happen, whether it be this weekend or early next week. If you follow the long-range outlooks that I do every Friday, I have two different, well, now there's three because we did this privately too on Monday. There's two different storm signals listed in the long-range outlook from this past Friday, the public long-range. We had the 15th to the 19th as one of them. The second one was the 20th to the 22nd. Okay, there are two separate signals listed purposely. This first one was a 4-day window. And the reason for that is we didn't know if it was going to be definitely this weekend, like the models were suggesting earlier in the week, or it was going to be something early next week. There is a possibility there could be something early next week as well, like Monday, Tuesday, but we don't know that yet. We just don't know what's going to happen because the models can't seem to figure this out. Okay, we do know there's going to be a short wave here cutting across Minnesota, Iowa, parts of Wisconsin, and Illinois. And after that point, the latest GFS array this evening is, again, different from its previous run. The idea on the operational models have been to push this further south. The ensembles are starting to follow and push this further south. So this could very well be a miss. So we have very low chances for any kind of precipitation for this in the forecast for right now. That does not mean it's not going to do a 180 and come back, because it has been doing crazy run-to-run changes. Okay, here's the latest example of that. Here's the GFS here this evening. Cuts all the way down to the deep south with this low. Before it was coming right over, this is several hundred miles apart from where it was previously, and now it takes it across the deep south. You get a snow event across Tennessee and North Carolina, Virginia, right? And the GFS this is through Sunday, so it's dry through this weekend on the GFS. After that, it has this storm coming up the coast because this energy behind it tries to interact with it and bring it back a little bit. So, is this a plausible solution? I guess, but it's probably not going to be correct. So, there's a lot of different possibilities of how this exactly evolves. There's storm signals there. This is the storm. I mean, the storm's there. It's not like it's not there. So this is the signal that we saw for a couple weeks now, right around this time frame. So we have that time frame between the 15th and 19th for a reason, because we don't know when exactly that's going to be, if at all. Okay, and then there's no guarantee from any winter storm signal that it's going to produce locally in our area. Storm's there. There's an opportunity, But again, this is probability. This is not deterministic. So GFS does bring us through our eastern areas, the eastern 2/3 of our region. It has a nice little hit here, actually, on Monday, Sunday night and Monday with this particular storm. Okay? This is a completely different situation or solution that we saw in previous runs earlier today and this evening. So this is completely different. The overnight run is completely different from what we saw before. Same thing with the Canadian run. This is showing this same system, but it's a little bit further offshore. We can back this up a little bit. It's doing the same kind of thing, and it just dives us down into the deep south. And it tries to turn the corner a little bit because it starts to interact with this, but there's too much separation. And this will just continue off to the east and miss us in this case. So a lot of different possibilities with this. It could be nothing at all. But I just don't want to turn my back on it because there are some ensemble members that are suggesting that it will, in fact, hit this area. So we just don't want to give up on this idea. One of the biggest problems with this is this system here staying offshore on Friday. Because this system, as it exits, it moves northeast, it starts to blow up out here in the Atlantic. By doing so, it decreases the height field. This height field decreases behind it. And it gets shunted way south because the heights are lowered in the wake of this system as it blows up. And this system only has one way to go, and that's south. So it makes sense that it's doing that. But the key to that is going to be that this offshore low here on Friday and what it does. If this really blows up offshore, the height field behind it, instead of being an amplified pattern, is going to be a little flatter and pushed farther south with those lowered heights going all the way down into Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina instead. And then, whether or not it gets this trailing energy catches up to or not to try to reel this back in or not remains to be seen. If that happens, it will be early next week. So again, a lot of different possibilities with this. We're not committing to anything, not guaranteeing you anything. But it very well could be just cold and dry during an entire period. Very well could be. So we'll see. We'll just continue to monitor over the next couple of days. I don't think this is going to be something the models are going to figure out until we get to probably Wednesday, Thursday, and if it's something that's going to happen early next week, it might even be Friday. Okay, it's going to take a while for them to resolve this, these short waves and the placement of all these things. This is a very volatile pattern, and something the models are not very good at figuring out until we get into like the 100-hour or less range. Okay, right now we're not there. This is about 150 hours, according to the GFS, sitting out here. So it's not quite there yet. Still trying to guess. That's all it's doing is guessing. So at this point, we're just going to continue to monitor and see where we are in a couple days and continue to update you every single day leading up to that point. I'm EPA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for January 11th, 2021. Have a great Tuesday.